I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story. Today we're in the suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona. I'm with Paul Friskopp, and he's got an amazingly rare car for us today. Paul, what year, make, and model is this one?
1951 Nash Healey Roadster.
1951 Nash Healey Roadster. Come right alongside me, and we'll take a look at that. Now, how long have you had this one?
Oh, I've had it about 12 years.
And this car has a bit of a story. First of all, how many of these are there, do you think, still around?
Well, there were only 104 made.
104 made, okay.
According to the club, there's a club for everything, but according to the club, there's about 20 of them that are completed as far as in one piece. But there's only about 12 they think that run, and this is, I think, the 5th one known to be restored.
Wow. Now, this car originally did not look this good.
No.
Tell me a little bit of the story there as we look at your car.
Well, the car had been given up on back in the 70s and parked in a warehouse in not very good condition. The engine was torn apart, and it was just the pieces of the body and everything was complete, and the engine the block was there anyway.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the engine, let's we'll turn it around so people can see the back in the sun. What a nice little sports car this one is. Let's show them what's under the hood, shall we?
All right.
Great. Wow. That's tremendous. Prop rod goes right in there. I noticed too that your tag, the fender tag, is actually a hood tag.
Yes.
On this one. Look at the nice way you've got this kind of undercoating. Is the hood metal, or what is the hood?
It's all aluminum. The body itself is aluminum. Handmade.
It has a texture to the bottom. Did they spray it with something?
Yeah,
or?
They sprayed it with an undercoating.
Okay. What's the cubic inch here?
234.5.
234.5. So we have SU carburetors.
Yes.
The side in here.
Yes, it's a Nash 6-cylinder overhead valve engine, but then it used the SU carburation.
Oh, I can see we've got. Is that a body or engine?
Cast. That's a cast. Just head casting. Number.
Yeah. Wow. You know, it's nicely placed under here, right? Is the block aluminum?
No, the block is cast iron.
It is cast iron.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
But the head's aluminum. It was a special head that they put on these to get the horsepower out.
Metal, aluminum.
Yes.
Okay. Plug straight in the side. Let's fire it up, shall we?
All right.
And we'll listen to it idle. I'll stand behind it. We'll give it a bit of a rev. It's fun to see something that you rarely see. Listen to it idle from behind here. Can you step on the brake lights for a second? Go ahead, Paul, give it a rev. Nice little rev and a little body rock. One more time. Backfire. Oh, fire-breathing dragon. Nice. And we'll turn this one around. That we would show you what it looks like from the back. And from the back, Paul, this to me looks like a Cobra. That is a great look.
Yeah, it was pretty stylish for the time.
Yeah. Is this bumper an option, this extra piece here?
No, they all had it. All the 51s had it that way.
You can see it says Nash right there.
Yeah, they use some parts from the Metropolitan.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, the bumpers and some of the other trim pieces.
And here we've got some great trunk and treats for you. So we've opened up the trunk, so we've got some trunk and treats for you. And you can see here is where the gas filler is, so you have to actually open up the trunk to fill the gas. Beautiful carpet. You can see the shock tower there. Really nice. When you think about 1951, this is really nice how they carpeted that up. This is an actual 51 owner's guide. I'll be very careful with that, but you can actually see the 1951 details here, like so. Your description of your valve adjustments, your general information. The December 9th 49, there's your color for your 50 Nashes. This one is in the Sunset Maroon color. And then we're presenting the new Nash Healey sports car, the world's most modern sports car. So as we look at that, and we open this up gently, you can see it's opens up into a full sheet. I won't do that because we won't need to, but you can see how that plays out there. 6-cylinder, 234.8 cubic inches on this one. Paul, share with me this jack. This is interesting. Tell me how this works.
Yeah, this is unusual in that it doesn't really look like a jack, but
Right.
it is. But if you notice, it's got a worm drive on the shaft, and this goes up here. So when you ratchet this just drives a screw out. That's how the jack works.
So where do you put that in?
Well, underneath the steering wheel on the driver's side and in the opposing side on the passenger side, there are holes that look like a brake access plate. And you take that off, and it's a hole that goes down to a pipe sticking out of the frame. You go down into the hole, you slide that into the pipe opening, you screw this up, the whole side of the car goes up, so you can change both wheels at the time.
That's
They had
amazing.
racing designed or in mind when they made that design.
That's amazing. All right, we'll put that back and we'll look at the rest of the car. And we're back. So let's take a look at it from the side. I really like this little angle right there. That's nice. I know I'm getting the sun starting to drop on us. We'll step back far enough from it. What's your thoughts when you look at this now all restored? I mean, what's the emotional connection?
Well, it's been the hardest restoration I've ever done, and I've got several cars, but
Now, why is that?
just
Get a little closer if you would, please, so I can hear you.
Just
Go
be-
ahead.
just because of the complexity of the way the aluminum body was wrapped around the steel, more or less base of the car, and the wheel wells were steel.
So the wheel wells are steel, the body's aluminum. So how did you blend the two, or how did they blend the two?
Well, they crimped the wheel openings with aluminum. They crimped them over the steel.
So in here,
Yes,
they crimped this over.
yeah, but those metals don't play together well.
Okay.
And so this bead
Yeah.
just broke apart. So all of the wheel openings were just loose from the rest of
So it was loose on top of the body.
Right.
Really? Wow. So how did you figure that out?
Well, we ended up radiusing that opening about 2 inches and we butt welded aluminum sheeting onto it and
Wow.
re-crimped the edges, so it's done properly.
Now, does it have a convertible top on it? Where does
Yes. Yeah.
inside here?
Yeah. the
Does it
convert-
open somehow, or?
Yeah. Yep. The seat
Go
folds
ahead, show me.
forward, and then the mechanism comes up
And over.
and over, and then you shut this again, but it's got
A catch.
a catch there, and then it
Got it.
snaps into the front.
I gotcha. All right, we'll shut that. Kind of like it with the top down, the Roadster Spider look to it. That is a big vent window. Now that's a stable piece, correct? That does not open out. That's
No.
just a solid piece.
Right. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
operable. And this was different. They made these cars in batches of 30.
Okay.
The first 30 just had a metal clip here that you used your fingers and you slid
pulled it out. Okay.
It didn't have a regulator. They started putting regulators in them sometime in the third batch of 30. This is number 69, and it has the regulator windows.
Got it. Now there's a couple of interesting things. Let me just show the overall instrumentation, which is why we turned it around. That big O in the center is not a horn. What is that?
That's the overdrive. Your ring here on top of the banjo, this is the horn,
Yeah.
and then the O in the center was the overdrive to cancel the overdrive. So it's a 3-speed Borg Warner with overdrive.
And this is your turn signal.
Yes.
There we go. And then what's underneath it? Those are your choke, or what do we have
Yeah,
here?
there's a choke and a throttle, and of course the handbrake is here.
Yeah.
And on the other side are the overdrive controls. You can lock it out completely.
On this side. And it's got the right amount of pedals. But this is interesting. Tell me about why that gas pedal is off to the right.
Well, this was built with racing in mind. And
Okay.
so the gas pedal in Great Britain is that during that period, I guess, they would put them between the pedals.
Wow.
Yeah. And so this has a, if you notice there's a hump in the carpet there. This
There
has
is.
a kit that they added to make them more easily driven on the street.
Jeez.
And so it's just a little rod and a lever that sits off to the side, so it's more of a convenient layout.
And this, in the middle of your seat, you're shifting 3 speeds, so an H pattern
Right.
under your leg.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
Not very comfortable.
What do we have on our little dots here, I'll call them?
Well, there's a turn signal indicator there. There's a generator light, and there's the bright light.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it wasn't. No, it's an overdrive light.
Overdrive light.
This indicator lights up for the turn.
Okay, got it.
Smith gauges, which are British.
And the little mirror. And more chokes? What do we have? We obviously don't have a radio. What do
No, it has a weather eye heater.
Okay.
It has wipers.
And the little dashboard there.
The starter.
What is this, an ashtray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Little rock out ashtray.
Okay, gotta have your cigarette.
Yeah.
You're driving your British car. Well, I think it's just time for us to take it for a ride. What do you say?
Okay.
Paul and I are in the 1951 Nash Healey. Take a look at where he shifts. It really is under his leg. And that little screw there that you can see is to restart that. Was the shifting confusing at first?
Yeah, very confusing.
Wow. It is a nice driving car though. To just show people where we're at. How's this look? I'll take it. It's great. Look at the look here. I've got some easy questions, I think. What's the reaction when you drive this to a car show? I mean, you saw my reaction. I was like, what do we have here? But
Yeah.
what's the reaction with a car that, okay, so a couple things. One is, what's the reaction when you bring this to a car show?
Well, I think the first thing is they realize it's something really unusual.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to figure out what it really is. And here it's got the name Nash on it, so people somewhat identify with that.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden but it looks like an Austin Healey, everybody says, you know. So, of course, that's the British influence
Sure.
on the body. But people are amazed, and then when they find out how few there really are, then they're really amazed.
Have you ever seen another one?
Yes, I've seen 2 others in my 12-year trek to learn these cars. I've seen 2 others. I saw the one that was restored that was serial number 1.
Wow.
I've seen another one in a collection big Rambler collection that's in Colorado.
What a great little cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great little cruiser. Does it handle well?
Yeah, it's very, very quick in the steering.
Very nimble?
That's what they call swing arm suspension, where the front wheels, they stay straight up and down. They don't pitch as you turn.
Nothing in front of the driver, all there between us. A fun little car. Do you get excited driving this car?
Yeah.
Or is it a little old school for you? Like, you know, oh yeah, I've been used to it now for a while.
No, I like something that's a little different, and I like something that, you know, turns people's head,
Yeah.
starts a conversation, and so it does all of those things.
Well, Paul, what an unusually rare car. What an exciting car to be in. What a fun time hanging out with you. And Paul mentioned he's got some Packards. Stay tuned to the channel. You're going to want to see some of his Packards. We're going to feature some of those out here in Phoenix suburbs as well. Thanks so much for being on my car story.
You bet. Thanks, Lou.
I didn't notice. What's the S button for? This is a little bonus footage.
Well, it's the ignition is in the key,
Okay.
but the starter for the solenoid to start a motor is just the start.
Like a
So
race car.
Yeah, so it's a push button.
So it's a race car. In the bonus footage, you have one other little story. Tell me about that.
Yes, recently there was a 2-volume book that was put together about the Nash Healey history.
That's amazing in and of itself.
Right. You know, for
Because,
such a
I mean, how
limited-
many people would buy that book?
Yeah. But anyway, in that book,
Yeah.
it has a certain appendix there that shows the whereabouts of the 104 original ones bought or sold in 1951.
Yeah.
And our number 69 is shown in the list as being the driver for Don Healey himself
Wow.
during the period.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. What did you think when you saw that?
I was amazed.
Yeah, that is amazing.
I would like to take some time now that I have it completed and try to put together a pedigree on the car.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good start right there.
Yeah, that is a good start. And nothing better than. It's a little bonus footage. We'll give you just a little of that. This. That just sounds great. That sounds great. That's a great way to end the video. Thank you.